Hello, my name is James Glasgow. I teach people how to become wealthy as real estate investors. For more than 30 years, I was a part-time real estate investor while I held down a full-time job and then later running my own businesses. For the last 6 years, I've been a full-time real estate investor as well as teaching other people how to make money as a real estate investor. A few years ago, I wrote this book, I Made Millions in Real Estate and How You Can Too. It's available on my website at towardswealth.com, and you can also get it at amazon.com. Well, we're only 2 weeks away from my 3-day wealth building seminar. It's on March 24th, 25th, and 26th. And what I would like to do is go over with you the subjects that we're going to cover in hopes that it will answer some of your questions. There is no reason that you cannot make yourself wealthy as a real estate investor. Real estate is everywhere. And luckily, when you're being an investor, it's in your community, your neighborhood. That means you can compete with the bigger companies because they can't be everywhere. And it is local. That means you have a better knowledge of the local conditions than they have. So that gives you an actual edge over somebody coming in from out of town who doesn't know what the local market is, and you can concentrate on a small area. Now, cost money to buy real estate and to rent that real estate or flip that house. Yes, but it doesn't have to be your money, and that's the good news. So one of the subjects that we're going to cover is how to find the money to be a real estate investor. So before I get off track here and run all over the place, let me try to go down the list here. And we're going to give you a special at the end of the show. Normally, for our 3-day real estate training seminar, it's $595 for one person to come to the seminar. But today, I want to give you a big discount, and then I want you to bring your spouse for only $100 more. So if you're serious about becoming a real estate investor, if you've been thinking about it, and said, well, I could do it. I just had the money. How do I get started? All the questions that come up. I know when I started, there was no internet. There was no place to go to get training. You either bought a book and crossed your fingers and hoped. So if somebody didn't teach you, if you didn't have a mentor, somebody to hold your hand or show you what to do, it was rather difficult to do. Well, today we're blessed. There's people like me who will show you how to do it and tell you what works and what doesn't work, what's working today. I know at our seminar, we give a lot of examples of what's happening and how to do deals, but they're current deals, nothing over 24 months old, because the marketplace changes and we want you to learn the right way and what is working in today's marketplace. So we're going to start out with an introduction to real estate. Now, pardon me if I do a little reading here, but there's 21 topics and I don't want to leave something out. So introduction to real estate investing. Now, we cover the general idea, we cover all the basics, and let you know 3 different ways that you can, of course, 3 different methods that you can take to reach millionaire status as a real estate investor. So we want you to know all 3 different ways. Now we realize that you're probably going to mix them all up, but that's okay. The more ways you have to get wealthy, the easier it is to do. We're going to talk about advertising and marketing. How do you find those good deals? How do those pros out there, how do they find a house to flip? You hear about somebody who bought a house for $35,000, $40,000, $15,000. How do they do that? Where do they find those deals? Where do they get to finance? Where do they get the money? Well, that's what we want to show you how to do. Where to get the advertising and marketing, how to do that, and how to find the money. We're going to talk about wholesaling houses for quick cash. Now, wholesaling is something you can do if you have very little money. You find somebody that has a house they don't want, and then you find somebody who wants that house, and you become the in-between person. And we're going to show you how to do that. Oh, and by the way, you can do it with less than $10. So don't worry about the money side. We're also going to cover low cost and no cost real estate investing. That's right, no cost. We can show you some ways of being a landlord without owning the house. We can show you ways to buy a house with literally no money. Now, I'm not a fan of no money down. I really think there ought to be some money changing hands, and we're going to show you how to find that money. The good news is it doesn't have to be your money. Now, if you've got money, it makes it easier. If you got relatives and people that you can partner with, that makes it easier too. But we're going to cover all those areas so you know how to find the money to be a real estate investor. So not having money is no excuse now. All right, we're going to talk about flipping houses for big paychecks. Now, flipping houses is what you see on television, where they buy a house that needs a little tender loving care or a lot of tender loving care. Then they go in there and they fix it up and spruce it up and clean it up and make it look pretty. Then they retail that house and sell it and walk away with a big check. The last one I did, I made just over $25,000. It took me about 90 days to do that. And by the way, I didn't do any of the work. I hired it all done. I know people that make $70,000 and $80,000 on their flip houses. So you can make money flipping houses. We're going to show you how to do that, how to estimate them, how to buy them, how to negotiate, what to do when the phone rings, how to market to find the deal. So we're going to cover all those bases. We're going to talk about just getting started. What's the step you do? What's step one? What's step two? How do you get your business started? What do you need to do? What about setting up the business method? What happens at the title company? We're going to cover all of those areas so there's nothing that you don't know, so you have a clean plan and you don't sit there worrying about what might, what if. All right, we're going to talk about getting rich with owner financing, whether you're buying the house and they sell it, the seller finances you, or whether you're financing the buyer. So that gives you more control, and we're going to tell you how that's done, how the people that do that, and then if you want to do that, how you can do that. Now we're going to talk about making big money with mobile homes. Mobile homes is a separate area. They've been around a long time. They're popular in certain segments in certain areas of the city. So you need to know how you can make money on mobile homes, because when you're out there marketing and spending money and you run across a mobile home, or if the people call and say, do you buy mobile homes? I want you to say yes. So that means you need to know what to do if you do buy that house. So we want to show you that you don't have to deal in just regular houses. They can also be mobile homes, and you might even make more money doing mobile homes than you would with a regular house. So we're going to go through that. Now, buy and hold method. Buy and hold is what a landlord is. They're buying a house, they're holding on to the house and making money from the cash flow. People pay rent, they make their payments and costs and expenses out of that. Whatever's left over is their cash flow. And we're going to show you how to do that. But we're also going to show you how to do the math to do that, because you need to know how to do the math. We're going to tell you about the secrets, the pros, and all those things that I have learned from 34 years of being a real estate investor. All those things my students have learned that I didn't know. We're going to give you all the tricks, all the things that will save you money, make you more money, things you never would have thought of on your own. We learned them by trial and error, and we're going to pass them on to you. All right, types of real estate investors. There's other than flipping. Now, most people think about flipping houses because that's what they see on TV, or they think about a landlord because that's what they deal with every day. They're renting an apartment, or they're renting an office building or something. So they're dealing with landlords. And we're going to show you how to become a landlord, and we think that's one of the best ways to become wealthy. But we're also going to show you how to flip houses because, you know, your big checks now kind of help. But we're also going to show you other ways of being real estate investors. There's not just landlord and there's not just flipping houses. And we're going to show you all of those so that you're aware of them. You probably or may not be interested in some of them, but at least you'll be aware of them. And if an opportunity comes along, you'll understand a little bit about it. We're going to talk about using land trust for asset protection, because once you get to a millionaire status, you might be thinking, wait a minute, I better protect my assets. And so we're going to show you how land trusts allow you to buy properties with nobody knowing that you did it. We're going to talk about finding private money. Now, private money simply means that somebody you know has lent you money to do your deals with. Now, it's my favorite way of doing it. I love buying houses, and you know, houses are expensive, and I can't buy very many if I just use my checkbook. But if I use 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people's checkbooks to buy those houses, then I can buy a lot more houses. And so we're going to tell you how private money works, where to find the people, how to meet them, how to put a deal together, and then what paperwork you need when you do find them, what interest rates you should offer them. So we're going to tell you about all of those things. We're going to tell you financing your home buyer. If you decide to finance a buyer that you've sold a house to, we're going to tell you about the paperwork to do, the rules, the regulations, and all the things that you need to comply with in order to do that, and how you can make more money be in the bank than you thought was possible. We're going to talk about converting leads to deals, because when you are advertising and marketing and the phone rings, what do you do? What are the questions you need to ask? How do you take that lead, somebody who has a house they're thinking about selling at a bargain price to you, how do you convert that into a deal that you take to the title company and then flip that house or wholesale that house or rent that house? And we want to tell you what a salesman does when he closes the deal and how that's done. We're going to talk about buying subject to. Now, buying subject to means you're buying subject to the existing financing. And when you're dealing with foreclosures and trying to take over a foreclosure, that's what you're doing, is you're buying subject to the existing financing. And so when we talk about foreclosures, we're talking about subject to. We're going to show you how that works, what the procedures are, the steps, how to do it, how to find out what houses are in foreclosure, and how to do those things. We're going to talk about Dodd-Frank and other regulations that will be affecting your business. So don't let them regulations scare you. They're there to protect the consumer, and they're also there to protect people from fraud, and we'll show you how to handle those situations. We're going to talk about the cheap house business for extra profit. There are a lot of houses out there that are small and old and in areas of town where the houses just are not appreciating in value. So there's a lot of houses that are 30, 40, 50, 60, $70,000. And those is what we call the cheap house business. It's not cheap because the houses are cheap. It's cheap because compared to other houses, it's less money. And that's where the word cheap comes from, not that the houses are cheap. But we're going to tell you about those houses and how that business works and where you get the money to buy those houses. And once you buy them, what do you do with them? Remember that in every neighborhood in town, somebody wants to live there. And so we need to be able to provide them with a way to finance and buy those houses. And in the process, you can make yourself very wealthy, and that's what we want you to do. We're also going to be talking about something called the pretty house business. Now, this is your retirement plan. I know landlord is going to make you tired, and you're going to make so much money that retirement isn't going to be your issue, and I hope that's the case. But just in case. So let's say you're a real estate investor and you're going along, and a few years has passed, and somebody comes along with a house and they need to sell it, and it's paid for, and you offer them a deal on a deal that we're going to show you how to do. That's called the pretty house business, and you're going to buy that house paying no interest. And that's going to become your retirement house. And we call it a pretty house business because they're usually nicer homes in nicer areas of town, and they're kind of pretty. And you're going to pay a good price for that house, and you're not going to pay any interest on it. And when it's paid off, it's going to be your retirement house because you'll be able to rent that house and create a retirement income for you. So it's called the pretty house business. We won't tell you about that one. We also want to talk about running your business. There's taxes, there's capital gains taxes, there's rules and regulations. And we want to keep this business as simple as possible. I literally run and can keep all of my books either on the files will stay on my computer. I'm going to scan everything and stick it in my computer, but it's really just a big file cabinet, what the computer is. Most all of my work is based in one ring binder and some spreadsheets. That's it. Old-fashioned, I know, pencil and paper, but record keeping for the income-producing real estate business can really be that simple. A few folders, some ledger pages, and a pencil. And we want to show you how to do that. Now, if you want to get fancy and you're one of the youngins that like to do all the computer programming stuff, by all means, it does make life easy. And I'm an older guy, and I would rather have a pencil and paper. I can do it faster that way. So we're going to show you the quick and easy, and then you guys can get just as fancy as you like. So what I've gone over today is all the different kinds of ways that we're going to cover the subject matter so that you know how to become wealthy. We want to give you all the real estate investing strategies, whether that's landlord, whether that's flipping houses, whether that's wholesaling houses, whether that's buying mobile homes, whether that's buying cheap houses, being the bank, buying houses subject to foreclosures. We're going to teach you all of those necessary methods and methodologies. So no matter what house you run across and what category it fits into, you know how to turn that into profit for you. You really can get wealthy. And one of the advantages with real estate is the paychecks are pretty big. And on a rent house, it may not be a lot per month. It may be $200 or $300 profit. But if you've got 20 of them, it adds up. And over time, those houses are going to go up in value, and the rent is going to increase, and you're going to get richer and richer each year. It is amazing when you see how these numbers work and how you can accumulate properties and make more money, and how you can use one property to buy another. When you see what people are out there doing, you'll realize why there's so many landlords and so many property investors, and why they all seem to do rather well. And so we want to teach you the tricks the pros know. We want to teach you how to find the money to be an investor. So if you're serious about becoming a real estate investor, this seminar on March 24th, 25th, and 26th is at the Norris Conference Center. You can go to towardswealth.com. That's TOWARDS, towardswealth.com, and register there. It's $595 for all 3 days, and boy, are we packed the information in for you. You better bring several pencils and some notebooks because you're going to be doing a lot of note taking. You're going to be amazed at all the stuff you learn and how easy it is to become a real estate investor and how you can find the money to do that. Now, I promised you a special. We're going to give you 20% off if you come to the seminar, and you can bring your spouse for $100 or your partner for $100 more. So that's $476. That's 20% off of $595. Plus, you can add your spouse for $100 or your partner. So go to towardswealth.com and register. Just go down to seminar, and when you see 20% off, click there, and all the information there. If you want to read more about the seminar, go to towardswealth.com and read about the seminar. Remember, it's in 2 more weeks, so you've got to get in there and get it done. We're running out of time. It's a great place to be if you're serious about real estate investor and becoming an investor in real estate, and if you're serious about becoming wealthy. Hope to see you there. My phone number is 210-413-7230. Don't be bashful. Call me. You can place your seminar registration by phone. 210-413-7230. My email address is edwardjim59@yahoo. Thank you very much.